a few months ago, I met a old friend of mine, Kumar, at a wedding. We got talking, knowing that I'm a personal financial coach. Got the topic turned to investing and life goals and so on and so forth. I learned that Kumar needed to start his journey, and he promised that he'd come back to me in the shortest possible time. And that was 6 months ago. I've received a number of WhatsApp messages from him that wanting to fix a time, and then immediately he'll say something has come up and he'll cancel it. Do I call Kumar a lazy person because he has not kept up his promise? To himself, not to me. But first, a story. There was once a king with a large kingdom. The king was a very busy man, very progressive king, wanted to do a lot of stuff. But he felt his subjects, the people in the kingdom, were very lazy. They were laid back in their approach. So he made a proclamation. He said, from this day forward, if you are given a task, you need to do it immediately. Immediately. The only people who are capable of escaping this is if you can go to the neighboring kingdom. There is a big well, and below that well is a lot of gold. So if you can go there, dig the well, get the gold out, and come back, then in lieu of the gold, I will give you somebody who will do your work. And the subjects were delighted. They all rushed immediately to the neighboring kingdom and went back into the well and tried digging more and more. And alas, there was no gold. So eventually they discovered that the king had made this only to make sure that they were more productive in their days. Now this is about the story, my friends. But many a times I found that people like Kumar, who need to get started, don't start. And the popular terminology that we use is laziness. But I tend to believe, knowing all I know over these years, is that it's not being lazy, but it's something that prevents them from making things happen, especially in the investment world. And I'd like to call it barriers. Now, all of us have barriers in what we need to do. Give a classic example. We've had a hard day at work. When we reach home at 5:30 or 6, you open the fridge and you have two things that face you. One is a bowl of beautiful salad of fresh cut vegetables that is always needed for you. You need to load up on your veggies, you are on diet, you need to cut your calories, so on and so forth. But next to that is a beautiful small piece of chocolate mousse cake. And the voice in your mind is telling you the salad is good for your health, but you had a hard day at work and you deserve a small reward at the end of the day, and the mousse cake is just the reward for you. Right? So both these voices happen at the same time to our mind, and that's where creates the barrier. You don't know which voice to listen to and move forward. And invariably, we listen to the voice that makes us happy, and which is the chocolate mousse cake. In many cases, this lack of clarity is what creates barriers to investing. There are a variety of barriers to investing. Now, first up, all of us realize that we need to save and invest, but just don't know where to start. We have no idea how to go about the process, so on and so forth. So my ask of you is, figure out your friend, relative, or a financial advisor who can help you and guide you in the process. But first up is the lack of where to start. Second is, we differentiate between what we are familiar doing and what we are not very familiar doing. So if investing is not something that you've done before or you're not familiar, there is a great reluctance to get started in that space. So you will have to find ways to break open that. Third, we'd like to follow majority. So majority people we look at around us are keeping monies in the bank, we too follow through on that. We don't go and do something very different. The news coming out sometimes when just about the time when I'm starting to think about starting an SIP in a mutual fund, I read this report that the stock market has crashed, right? And that news scares the hell out of me. I don't want to lose my precious money, so I don't go near that. So the news flow scares us. Last, not knowing what to do and not knowing where to invest, I'm scared that I will lose my money. The fear of loss is quite a big deterrent in taking that decision forward to invest. So there are a variety of barriers, friends, that prevent us from going ahead and making these investments happen. But there are simple ways to overcome these barriers. First way to overcome is to find an accountability partner. Right? It can be your friend, it can be your spouse, it can be your parents, whoever. Somebody who is interested in your welfare. Find that person, discuss, and make sure that they hold you accountable to getting started with this journey. Second, start the exercise of moving a small bit of money from your regular bank account to a different account. Very, very crucial. Because most of the times, if you've not had the habit of investing, you find that there's no money left. Unless you move money away from your savings account somewhere else, you will find that there is absolutely no money available to do anything. So start, however small, move it into a different account which you don't access regularly. Third, start creating a very small, simple investment plan. It can be as simple as saying, I want to invest 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees every month into something over long periods of times, and do it consistently. Fourth, review this plan. Is it happening to plan on at least once a month? You need to spend 5-10 minutes and make sure that the plans that you decided to do at the beginning of the year are continuing to happen. Review that. An end of each year, it's a great time to celebrate. You have started your journey to becoming wealthy, and that's reason enough to celebrate. Take a couple of moments to celebrate, feel happy about this, and then look at recalibrating. So if you've been doing 1,000 rupees of saving and investing, make sure you can increase it to whatever extent. It can be 2,000, 5,000, whatever. Now that you are on the habit, it's good to increase on that, double down on that capability. In no time, my friends, you will realize that you have great potential in creating a wealthy future for yourself. So there is nothing called laziness. It's just a few barriers. Break that barrier and get on the journey to creating wealth.